Hi, I'm Laura Lively. Welcome to you and all of your parts. Last week, we covered a weighty topic that I don't think gets enough airtime: grief and how it shows up for people. And I covered three of the key learnings that I've had in my own grief journey. One, the grief shows up differently for everyone. Two, grief may or will leak out sideways. And three, grief is not linear. And so this week, I wanted to share with you some common activities that people may engage in instead of feeling their grief. In the grief recovery method that I mentioned last week, they call these activities STERBs, short-term energy relieving behaviors or short-term emotional relieving behaviors. And from an IFS perspective, we call them firefighters. We consider these to be parts that swoop in, and they're reactive managers. They're trying to stop the pain. And so they will put out those flames regardless of the consequences. So I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about these short-term energy relieving behaviors or firefighter behaviors. And so the grief recovery method names several: eating, alcohol and drugs, shopping, sex, cleaning. I can't say that I've ever used that one. Academia or studying, sleeping, and isolation. So a few that I might add to the list are things like binge watching TV, playing hours of games on your device, or endlessly scrolling through your social media. Anything that numbs us out or gets us a dopamine hit. I mention these behaviors only to elevate them to your attention. I want to be really clear. I am not looking to shame your parts for using these STERBs or your firefighters for doing their job. I'm just inviting you to consider when you might indulge in these behaviors to blow off some steam or to avoid your emotions. You know, I talk about the triple A's of parts work, that parts want three things. They want acknowledgement, acceptance, and appreciation. But in order to be able to acknowledge, accept, and appreciate them, we have to be aware. We have to be aware of what we're doing and why we're doing it. We have to become conscious of these short-term coping mechanisms. Without awareness, you can't do anything. You cannot get curious about why you wanted or needed to use a STERP. And so I'm just advocating you become aware of these STERPs or these firefighter activities. Get curious about what is prompting them. You might even ask the parts that are advocating another hour of watching TV what they're afraid would happen if you didn't keep watching it. You might ask them, what are you concerned will happen if we stop adding stuff to our cart on Amazon? I'd also invite you to go back a couple of episodes where I talked about the 90-second rule and emotions. Most of us use these STERBs, or our parts do, to stop us from feeling pain. Maybe your parts would benefit from knowing that chemically, our emotions only last in our bodies for about 90 seconds. I was talking about this with a client this last week, and I asked her to check in with her system to see how she felt about that it only lasted for 90 seconds. And she found a part that flat out said, no, I'm not going to feel any feelings, 90 seconds or not. And you know what? We accepted that part too. It didn't want to feel emotions? Okay. That's okay. This is acceptance. The invitation is to get curious and notice your behaviors and notice who in your system has concerns about you stopping the behaviors. And a gentle reminder, maybe to the parts, is that our emotions, even grief, chemically runs through us in 90 seconds. Is it okay to feel something for 90 seconds? Is it okay to feel sad for 90 seconds? Notice if you have resistance to that. And if you do, like my client did, let that be okay too. Accept where you are. Accept where your parts are. Maybe you can't feel your feelings right now. Maybe you will choose to binge watch Netflix or clean the bathroom for the 10th time. I get it. Okay, not the cleaning part, because I don't get that. But accept that too. I hope that your awareness has been heightened, and I hope you enjoyed this information. Drop me a comment at laura@lauralively.com and hit the subscribe button so that you never miss the weekly content. And until next time, love to you and all of your parts.